Next we're going to learn about material master record in SAP SD. So the topics we're going to cover today, they are create a material, how to create a material, how to change a material, how to display a material, units of measure in the material master data, and extending of the material master record. Let us start with the business example. Your company sells and delivers various products to the customer. You are a member of the project team that is implementing the sales and distribution processes in SAP ERP. Before products can be sold, corresponding material master records have to exist in the system. Therefore, you make yourself familiar with the relevant information about the material master data. Material master record. So the material master record basically consists of different types of data. So what that means is, because the material is same, for example, if I say my company sells laptop, then we got different material master for the laptop. For example, one material master can be for the 14-inch laptop, one can be for the 15-inch, one can be the 11-inch. So we can create different types of master data. So this is just an example. You can create any material. So if the company is selling probably cars, you can create a cars material master data. But the thing is, the material master data is common bit for all the departments within the company. What that means is, if a person is working in the purchasing department, they will use the same material data. If a guy is working in the sales department as a sales guy, they will use the same data. And if the production guys are working there, they will use the same material master. Same goes for the production planning people and all other people within the company. So that means one material master data is created with all the relevant information that will be relevant for different departments. So here we're going to see that what types of information we can create. So basically you have different types of information in the material master record. So we can divide in for example, basic data. So basic data will consist of what is the material code, description of the material, units of measure, weight and volume of the material. Then we got sales data, which is sales specific. That means this will consist of the sales specific data. For example, what is the delivering plant, text classification, material group, and all of the data that we'll see in a minute. Then this is also sales specific data, which is sales general plant data. Then we got sales text. Now these are the sales from SD point of view. We just need these data: sales data, basic data, sales text, and also the foreign trade export data from SD point of view. However, if you look from the other perspective, we need all the views from a business point of view. For example, we need the production view, we need the accounting view, and everything. Now I'm going to show you how to create a material in SAP. So to create the material master data, the transaction code is here. I've written MM01, MM02, and MM03. So these are the transaction codes. So MM01 to create a code, MM02 to change a code, MM03 to display a code. So here you can also use the menu path if you want. You can go to logistics, you can go to sales and distribution, master data, then products, then material, and then other material, and MM01. So if you double click on MM01, or you can type in the transaction code on the top. So here you first need to give what material, what is the code of the materials. For example, I'm creating a laptop, so I can say laptop. I'll create laptop Dell underscore 11, for example. That means 11-inch Dell laptop I'm creating. Then you can create industry sector. So just for now, just use mechanical engineering for now, and we'll talk about this one later on. Material type, like we need to select what is a material type. So material type can be raw material, it can be a trading good, it can be a semi-finished goods, it can be a finished goods. For this exercise, only use the finished goods. So FERT, F-E-R-T, use this one, and that's it, and press enter. So first time when you log into this screen, it probably for your screen, like you can see my screen got selected some views, but your screen will be like this, something like this. So you need to select something here. So here you can select basic data, sales data. Just select the views that I'm selecting for now, and we'll talk about the others later on. So sales tax, purchasing, MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for work scheduling, and then accounting and costing. That's it. So these you need to select for now, and make sure you click on the default setting at the bottom. If you click on the default setting, next time when you open MM01, system will remember these views, so you don't need to select them again and again. So you can create this as a default view. Then I can say okay, continue, and here you can select, make sure you select 1000 as a plant here, and use the store location 0001. Use the sales organization as 10, and this one as sales organization as 1000, and this one as 10 as a distribution channel. If you see blank here, for example, because mine is default setting here, then you can select here, or you can manually type. For example, I can select from here plant number 1000, say okay, save, use this data, and whatever figures you have selected here, if you want the system to remember next time, again click on the default setting. If I click on default setting, that's why you can see my default values here. Otherwise you will see blank. So here I can say okay, now I am on the sales view, basic sales data. So here any field you can see with this little checkbox, they are mandatory. You need to enter some data in these fields, then only you can move to the next screen. So here first I need to enter the description of the material. On the top I can say this is a Dell, I can say laptop Dell 11 inch, for example. Here you can enter the unit of measure. For example, you can search what are the options available, or you can type in manually any of them. So for example, here I can say, you can say each, you can say pieces. So for example, I can say each, EA. Then it's mandatory to use the select a material group. Select it. So there are so many here, so I will select for now electronics. That's it. So these are the mandatory fields. Now you can see on the top there are different tabs. So we'll go through all the tabs that we have selected in the previous screen, and we'll enter the mandatory data in those tabs. So I can press enter to go to the next tab. If I press enter, I will jump to the next tab. But if I did not enter any of the mandatory data, see for example, this material group is the mandatory field, you can see. But if I do not enter any data, I try to press enter, system will throw an error, and you can see there's a message at the bottom, fill in the required entry field. So that means I need to first fill the data into the mandatory fields, then only I can move on. So here I can again select electronics, and now if I press enter, I can either press enter, or I can click on this corner. See this little corner here, click on that, and you can see all the views. That means I can jump to any of the view, but for now do not jump here. We'll jump it later on. I'll show you later on. Then press enter. It will jump to the basic data. There is no mandatory field here. Press enter again. So wherever there is a mandatory field, system will ask you. Then press enter again. Now here it is the mandatory field. System asking is that whether the output text is yes or no. I can select something here. I can say either full text or half text or no text. I can say full text. This is number 1. Same goes for this one. Same goes for this one. Press enter. Now again press enter. By default showing you the item category as norm. Okay, make sure you use the item category norm for now. We'll talk about item category group later on. Press enter again, and you can see again 2 mandatory fields here. Transportation group, so this is mandatory field. So for your exercise as well, just select the one that I'm using here, 001, and loading group as 001. So I will talk about the importance of the loading group and where they will be used later on in the other videos. So press enter. Now jump to the sales tax. If you want to enter any sales tax Then you can enter here, for example, this is test sales text, for example, whatever you want to enter. Then press enter again. But in the case of sale text, it doesn't accept the enter button. So you need to jump to the next one by clicking on the purchasing tab. Then here you can see the purchasing group is mandatory. Select a value for this one. So select any purchasing group for now. This one doesn't matter. Press enter. Now jump to the MRP one screen. So here you need to select MRP type here as PD. So always select PD for now. So these views are basically used in the MM and PP modules, these MRP views. For now, I select MRP type, press enter. It's asking for MRP controller. Select any MRP controller for now. So I'll select 001. Press enter. Lot size. Select the lot size as select EX for now. Press enter. It will jump to the MRP2 tab. So here procurement type, that means whether you want to internally manufacture or you want to externally purchase. So you can say externally procurement. Then here you need to enter the planned delivery time, that means how long it will take to purchase a material. I can say 10 days. Press enter again. It's asking for a schedule margin key. So for now, do not select the 0001, select any of them, the last and 4 with the numbers. Press enter again. Sorry, I was on MRP 3 before, so there's no mandatory field here. Press enter, go to MRP 4, no mandatory field here, press enter. Jump to the scheduling, work scheduling view, press enter. So keep pressing enter if there's any material which is mandatory field, it will ask you. So here it's asking me to enter a valuation class, so I will select a valuation class for now. So I'll select 790. Press enter, enter, enter. Keep pressing enter. If there is a mandatory field, it will ask you. Now I've gone through all the views and it's asking me whether you want to save it. I will say yes. Done. So this material is created. You can see at the bottom laptop Dell laptop Dell _1. So now if you want to display this material, you can go to MM02 transaction here, or you can manually type on the top MM02. So system will remember the last created material. So whatever the last material you opened, it will remember the number. Or if it doesn't, then you can type here laptop Dell _11. Press enter. Now you can see here it will remember my views. Okay, so whatever views you have created as a default before, so I can say okay. Same goes for the next screen, whatever views you have default, it will remember that, say okay. So now I can open the material. So now I can go to any tab and I can change any data that I want. For example, I want to change say material group. If I open that, I can say laptop system. I want to select this one, laptop system. So I can change it and I can save it. And then press enter, keep going, or you can directly jump. If you click on this little corner at the end, you can jump to any of the views. It will show you all the views, but you can only jump to the view that you have created. For example, if I want to jump to MRP1, I can directly jump from here. So it will jump to MRP1 and I can save it. And same goes for, this is a change view and this is a display view. Display view means you can display only but can't change anything. So if I go to MM03, enter, press enter, enter. Now here you can say everything is grayed out. I can jump to the other tabs, but everything is grayed out. I can't change anything, I can display only. Now this MM03 transaction is used in the business for some people, some user, where we do not want them to give the access to change something or to create something. However, they can display something. So with the business, some users with a low authorization, you can say, they can't change anything like that. So they can display. If they try to open MM02, they don't have access, but they have access to MM03. So that's the use of display only access. And you can also see, for example, if you want to see who created the material and what are the changes done, you can click on the environment, click on display changes, and here it will show you who created it. You can see created by this person on this date, change on this date. If I double click on this is mm02 change, double click on it, it will tell you that what was changed. It is saying that material group was changed from 001003 to 00200010. So you can, it will record the changes that is happening for any material. I can go back, and you can click on this little I information button. It will tell you that what is the who created the material, who last changed it, what is the material type, description, and industry sector, everything that we have selected during the creation of the material. So that's how you can create the material. So as we discussed before, that the same material we create, but we'll create different views for different departments, for example purchasing, MRP, accounting, and the same common material will be used by all the different departments or all the different people. Now we'll talk about the units of measure. Units of measure means, for example, we are manufacturing the product in, say, pieces. The basic unit of measure is pieces. However, when we want to sell it, when we want to procure it, maybe this can be raw material as well. In the raw material case, we're going to purchase it from the vendor. So we can create some alternative units of measure. For example, we can create a carton. So we can say, okay, 4 pieces is equal to 1 carton. Or here we can say 16 pieces can be equal to 1 crate, or 1 pallet can be equal to this many cartons. So we can create that as well. So you can see 4 pieces making cartons, 16 pieces making crate, and 72 pieces making your pallet. So if you want to maintain this, you can maintain it when you're creating the material. You can still maintain it after creating the materials. If I open the material in mm02, now here go to the additional data on the top, click on it, click on units of measure tab. Now here by default will show you 1 each, because that's the units of measure, basic unit of measure. I can say here 1, here I can say 1, I can open this. So for example, if you want to create a unit of measure for carton, so you can search here carton, that's the carton, CAR carton. So 1 carton I can say is equal to 4, like this. So you can see system knows that 1 carton will be made up of 4 pieces. Same goes for the others. For example, you want to create a pallet, for example, I can search for a pallet here. So search for unit of measure as pallet. That one. I can say 1 pallet is equal to 72 each pieces. So I can save it. If I come back, and I can display the same again if you want. I can go to additional tab and unit of measure. So you have all the data that you have just maintained now. So that's how you can create the units of measure for the material. Extending a material. Now in this exercise we have created the material for plant 1000. The same material can be created for different plant, and the same material can be created for the different sales organization. For example, if I open this material here again, it's showing me my default views here 1000, but if I try to open it, it will just showing me, for example, say if I make it blank first, if I make it blank, and now if I search for the available plant here, you can see only showing 1000 because it is created for 1000 only. So that's why it's showing 1000 plant. I can choose that. Same goes for sales organization and distribution channel. If I select, say, if I remove the sales organization and search for it, what is available here? So it's saying only 1010 because we created the material for this sales organization only. But if you want, you can extend it. You can extend it for a plant, you can extend it for a sales organization, or both. So if you want to extend it, then for extending, you again need to use the transaction mm01, which is the create transaction, not change transaction. So mm01, open it, Make sure you enter the same material number here. Press enter. Press enter. You can remove all of the data because we don't want, even if you leave it doesn't matter. But say I want to create it for the different plant, same material for different plant. So I can say I want to create for plant number 1100. I can choose that and make sure you select the right store location. So I can select 1000 and 0001. Sorry, 1100 and 001. And if you want, I can change the sales organization to something else. For example, if I select sales organization, I say I don't want to use 1000. So I can either only create for plant extension, or I can create for both plant and sales org transaction extension. Say I can say 2000 number of sales organization. See, 2000. If I say OK, same thing it will happen again. It will go through the different tabs. Okay, keep pressing enter. If there is any mandatory field, it will ask you. Same thing like before, but you can see here I'm on the sales organization 2000. It's a PD. If you want to make your work easier, then I will not save this and I will start again. If you want to make your work easier, then I show you a trick. So what you can do is go to MM01 and say that is your material. So you can copy it from a different material. Okay, so for example, I can copy the data from this material to from another material. For example, material can be ABC123. If I do that, then most of the fields will be copied. So I do not need to make manual entry for each mandatory field. It will copy all the data. I'll show you example. What I'll do, I will copy the same plant for now. Because we are copying the data for different plants. So here I will say this is 1100. This is 2000. This is the new plant, new sales organization, and that is I'm copying from. You can see I'm copying from the existing one. You can say OK. And now I can keep pressing enter. So most of the fields will be copied. You can see this text is copied as well from the previous one. Keep pressing enter. You can see MRP type, everything is copied. Keep pressing enter. So only thing I need to do is to pressing enter, 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 and when it will finish, it will ask you to save it. Save, yes, that's it. So now I created the other view. If I go to MM02, enter, enter. So if you search here now, you have two plants. Why? Because I just created for the other plant as well. So same material can be available for other plants as well. But for our exercise, we'll be using 1000 number plant. Same goes for the sales organization. It is available for other sales organization. You can see. For example, if I want to create another material, say if I'm creating a say laptop number 13, for example, and if you copy from this one, press enter, enter. So this time I'm creating a brand new material, but I'm copying from this plant and sales organization to this plant and sales organization. If I say OK, so this time it will copy most of the data. You can see. So I just need to change the description here. It's 13. Keep pressing enter, 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 enter. So it will copy. So I do not need to enter manually. So most of the data will be copied. So I will not save it for now. So that's how you can extend a material to different plants or to different sales organization and distribution channel. How to search for a material code? Now this is very interesting. So when you search, for example, I created this material here, that one, and I forgot what was the code. So how do I search for it? So if you go to MM02 and you want to search for it, click on this little search button. So it's showing me this search screen. If you do not see the similar screen, then you need to select this screen by clicking on the last icon here. So you can see different screen. For example, you're probably seeing this one. If you do see this one, then click on the little last corner and select this one, plant material by description. So select that. So here you can see I'm searching within for plant number 1000, and my material, this is a material description, this is a material code. So my material code was, say for example, this one. So I can say my material code is only laptop, if I remember laptop only. So I can say laptop star. So if I say laptop star, star means give me all the material codes that are starting with laptop, and they can be something else after laptop. So any code starting with laptop, give me the list. If I press enter, it will give me the list. So you can see there's so many materials in the system created as a laptop in the beginning. So this one, the third column. So here you can select the one that I just created as well. See this one, laptop Dell 11. Or other way you can search by description as well. I can say, instead of searching by material code, you can search by material description. So description that I entered was laptop Dell 13-inch, right? So I can say, I just remember Dell 13-inch. So you can say, either I can say laptop star or laptop Dell star, or I can say star Dell 13-inch. That means any code. So if you put the star in front of it, that means any code that has something else in the beginning and something else after 13, give me the list. So if I search for it, it will find it quickly. Find, but it's not, so Dell 13-inch, it should find. Sorry, I was searching for 13-inch, my fault. It should be 11. So if I search again, Dell 11 star, enter, that's the material. So that's how you can search for it. So you do not need to remember all the code, so you can search by the description, search by the material code and all that, and I can continue from here like that. So that's how you search for the material. So that's all for Material Master today. So just a recap. So what we learned today. So today we discussed about how to create the material, how to change a material, how to display a material, how to enter the units of measure in the Material Master, and how to extend a Material Master record. So for the assignment, I want you to do this exercise first before you move further. Create a Material Master record for a pump for plant number 1000 and create these views: basic view, sales view, purchasing, MRP, work scheduling view. And I would say create accounting and costing view as well, because that will be used later on. So create these views and save your record. Make a note of the customer of the Material Master record. So I'll just remove it. So just make sure, just remember that the code that you have created for the Material Master, because we'll be using the same material code in the next exercise. Save a record. Then second part is, how can you search for a Material Master record? So just see what are the different ways you can search using the text, using the material code and all that. Then see, now you need to extend the material, or sorry, this one I've given this exercise. So here you need to extend the, I will remove this for now. So third part is, you need to extend these views. So earlier we, for example, we forgot to create the accounting and costing view. Now you need to create these views. So how do you create it? Again, remember, every time you need to create a something, create the extension for the plant or create extension for the view, always use MM01. Then how can you check that what views are maintained for a material? So if you need to select that what views that you have created so far, then how do you check that? And now extend your material to the plant 1100 or 1200. So you already created it for plant number 1000. Now either create it for plant number 11 or 1200. Pick any, it doesn't matter. And note down the material code you created as you will be using the material in the next assignment. So that's all for this exercise, and thank you again to watch this lecture. So we'll catch up in the next video.